There we go. Go after it. Hello, everybody. Danny Wanda back from Deep South Homestead here. Miss Wanda's getting everything lined up for us here.
Okay, our chat. There it is.
There it goes. Okay, everything.
Right, does that looks
good. Got that.
Just don't touch.
You got that small delay. There we go.
Don't touch. Don't touch.
Yes. Hello. Hello. That sounds like Dutch things, doesn't it?
Well, you know who we listen to, huh?
Yeah. Hello. Hello. Okay. We got a lot of people from a lot of different places. Shalom.
A lot of people from
Shabbat
Mississippi.
Shalom. Yeah.
And we are in Mississippi.
We're in Mississippi.
So we weren't here last Saturday because it was raining.
Oh,
and a lot of people said, why can you not have a live stream if it's raining? Well, our internet fades in and out.
We don't have much internet anyway. We have no phone service, and our internet is crappy at the best. And when it rains, we have zero internet. So
it'll come and go. You might have it for a few minutes, and so it would have been a bad live stream.
It would have been bad. But anyway,
we got a lot of people from all over the place. I swear I couldn't read all that if I had to. It's going so fast. I see Pennsylvania in big letters.
Jeff Outdoors making maple syrup this weekend. All right.
Yeah, I fixed some waffles. So
that's the difference between maple and sugarcane and sorghum. We have to make ours in the fall. They have to make theirs in the spring.
Or early, yeah.
Early, yeah.
I'm gonna be eating somebody's. I done forgot which. It wasn't New Hampshire.
Yes,
forgot.
It's New Hampshire. You don't eat all of New York. It's New Hampshire.
Yeah, the New Hampshire maple syrup because I made waffles, and that's what I'm having for breakfast tomorrow.
Yeah. Yes.
But yeah, I don't even know what all we did last week to even recoup. But this week
that was past yesterday.
That was past yesterday.
Yeah, it's hard to remember anything past yesterday.
But this week we had my granddaughter Faith was here for 3 nights.
Yes.
And then last night, my son Jesse and his wife were here and helped us today over at the Grove. And so we just had a busy week all week. And we've had several people send me messages saying, are y'all all right? What's going on? And they've missed us on YouTube. And y'all just I put up 3 videos. And
we are just, guys, we are busting it over at Pecan Grove. And somebody's asking here, let me get this. How can we get some Danny corn? We don't have any Danny corn seed. We're sold out. There won't be no more till this fall, and that'll only be if the crop is good this year. We're getting the ground ready now to plant. And get this, we had some of the most beautiful potatoes up you've ever seen.
About a foot high.
About a foot high over at the Grove. This morning, we went over, it was 25 degrees.
Patty said she's exhausted. I have wore her out today.
Yeah. 25 degrees. I have a gentleman close by there that we compare temperatures with because it's not here, it's at another location. So we compare temperatures, and I told him, I said, well, we were like 28 here. What were you? And he said, we were 25 this morning. So that was... It got our potatoes, the tops of them.
I cut them off. Miss Carolyn, thank you. She installed an EMP shield on her car by herself. Yes.
Yes. All right.
See, I told y'all.
It's not hard.
Even women can do it.
I wouldn't say that. I'd say anybody can do it.
Well, I'm saying I'm being politically incorrect.
You are being politically incorrect. Yes.
I'm gonna be women.
That's
can
awesome,
do this.
Miss Carolyn.
Yes,
awesome.
I am glad. I don't know what to do.
Well, just to let you know, we had an X 2.3
weird
coronal mass ejection off of the sun. Supposed to be here tomorrow or the next day. And y'all remember, I told y'all to wait February the 18th. We was expecting a massive between February the 18th and February the 21st or 22nd. We're expecting something serious to happen on the Earth because of things happening in outer space. And today we had a huge coronal mass ejection, which will be here tomorrow or the next day. I hadn't kept up with it. I've been busy all day working, but
yeah, Weatherman Plus is back. He had some issues with somebody hacking his email. He had to shut his channel down. YouTube helped him fix all that. So Weatherman Plus is back. He didn't get strikes or anything. He just had to do it himself in order for YouTube to help him get his channel back. And y'all, while we're on that, spam, scams, whatever, y'all, we do not go under your comment and tell you to contact me through Telegram or a phone number or anything like that. I would never ever do that. So if you get and it says you won something or I'm sending you a gift, do not answer it. Report it.
Right, report it.
If I do have to mention a giveaway, but I'll do a video tomorrow and I will announce because that's the only way we do it.
Howard says, Danny, they're going to have 4 seasons in 1 week this next week. We are having 4 seasons now.
I was in shorts 2 days ago. Yesterday I like to have froze to death.
Today we were 25 degrees.
This morning.
And this evening we were back in regular shirts. Yeah. Next week we're going to be 85 degrees here, guys. I'm telling you. Y'all, I have told y'all and told you that what is going to happen. And it's
going crazy.
It's crazy, I'm telling you. I mean, we talked about we're going to see things in the heavens, in the skies. I told you you're going to see unusual things. That is happening. I told you you're going to have distractions. That is happening.
Where can I get an EMP for my car and my home? We have a link.
In the description down below. You'll see a link for EMP Shield. You get a $50 discount by going through us. As a matter of fact, we got to order another one for another project we got. We're constantly ordering them for our own selves because these coronal mass ejections. Remember, I told y'all I'm not so worried about an EMP as I am a coronal mass ejection and lightning because there's a $25,000 standalone policy with this thing. You can't go wrong. I mean,
if it's lightning.
I mean, it's just
okay. That's the key thing. It can't be anything else but lightning on the insurance part. Yeah. But to have your house protected where it doesn't burn down, that's the biggest thing. A lot of people are thinking that they put an EMP shield on and they're going to have electricity if something happens. You're not going to have electricity.
It doesn't help you keep electricity. It keeps you from losing what you have in your house. So that when the electricity comes back on, you will still have stuff that works. 5 Acres Woods says, I've never seen the daffodils blooming so early. We found some growing on our new property, and they're blooming.
Yeah, and we found a new
azalea.
Azalea.
Way off in the swamp. I mean, we did a Patreon on this. Way off in the swamp by a water hole in the woods was this beautiful azalea way off in a swamp planted.
Yeah, and I'm going to try to match it for some on the driveway. I don't know if I can, but I can get close. The color's almost a purple pink color.
It's a beautiful color.
It's a beautiful color. So we're going to try and match it.
I've got to get in there and push around it and clean out around it because it's all growed up, but we did find it.
Yeah.
Lost the telegraphs to one in the late 1800s. Janet, we the people? Yep, we sure did.
Yeah. And I was trying to think what all. I did do some freeze-dried stuff. People are always asking about freeze-dried, but I didn't do a video. I freeze-dried some orange peels because I still have orange peels from our oranges now. I don't buy our oranges. Over in my freezer. I took all the peelings off and put them in Ziploc bags and froze them in the freezer so that when I get ready to do a freeze-dryer run, I had 3 trays of carrots. I shredded our carrots and put them on there, and I had 3 trays ready, and I needed a 4th tray, so I put orange peels on the other. So that's things that I've freeze-dried this week. Hadn't canned anything. We've used a lot of canned goods. I have jars galore that we're emptying, so we're going to really have to can this year like crazy to build back up.
Okay, tons of things are going by.
A lot of people
saying they got dewberries blooming. Our mulberries are in full bloom, leaf.
There's berries on the mulberries.
Yeah, they're leafing out. I don't know if after this morning if they are or not.
They may
not be no more.
That's what happened last year.
Exactly what happened last year. We got peach trees blooming. I hadn't looked at the pear trees yet, but I know the peach trees. We got mayhaws blooming.
Miss D said hello from one pecan grove to another. We
Yes.
may need some info, Miss D.
We're working on our pecan trees, that's for sure.
We may need some good advice on old pecan trees and how to bring them to life.
I spent, with the better part of yesterday, cleaning out around one tree.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a job to clean out around that one tree.
What do you think about ham radios and CBs? Will they work if something happens?
No. If an EMP happens or a coronal mass ejection, it's going to get them all unless they're protected.
How difficult is maintenance on a freeze dryer? Really, I don't do anything other than wipe it out every couple of times and then...
Just there's certain things you don't put in it. You don't put things like garlic or...
You can.
I mean, you can if you want to try to clean it afterwards, but don't do garlic.
The smell.
You don't do things that's high in oil, things that's high in sugar. I mean, stuff like that.
Yeah. But now it's easy to clean as far as anything to do with it is most all of it's stainless, so it just wipes off. The problem is if you do anything with smells, you want to wipe it down, try to get the smell out of there, and then change the oil once.
Chris, yes, Bill Gates is trying to block out the sun. Him and a lot of other people are. They're trying to do it in the name of climate control. They claim that we're getting too hot, which we are going to get hot. But trust me, it's not working like they want it to.
Yeah.
Redbuds are starting. Dana says redbuds are starting to bloom in East Texas and dandelions. I'm telling you guys, everything is going crazy. I mean, literally, it's going crazy.
The wind got to my eyes today, and all of a sudden my eyes burning. Just hit.
Oh yeah, yesterday we got started off and it was very cold yesterday, and the sky turned out blue, and then all of a sudden they chemtrailed us to death, and we never saw the sun again the rest of the day.
Yeah.
Carolyn says, I have lots of peaches growing on my trees. I can't wait to try to get them before the varmints. Man, you must be way south of us if you already got peaches on your trees.
We have mayhaws too. The Swafford Homestead said they started some mayhaws. Ours are in full bloom.
There's Plant Abundance. Hey, Plant Abundance.
Hey, how are you doing?
Haven't seen you in a while.
I watch a few videos every now and then.
Yeah.
Check out what he's doing over there.
Yep, everybody's saying they're redbuds or maple. I mean, they're mulberries, all this stuff. We got maple trees blooming here.
Yeah, I asked Danny the other day. I said, "What is that I'm seeing?" He says, "A maple."
Yeah.
What else?
Danny, what percentage shade cloth should I order in Florida Zone 9A? What we do? 40%. We found 40%. We found was the actual best for us. We tried several different ones, but 40 seems to work the best for us.
Yeah, most everything. Blueberries are in full bloom.
Huckleberries, full bloom.
The dewberries are even starting to try to bloom. I saw a few of those. I've got strawberries blooming in the greenhouse. I actually ate strawberries this week.
Yeah, the only thing is I got sad news for people in the Northwest. Y'all are going to be cold for a long time.
Hello, Hills Mills.
Y'all are just going to be cold. I don't know how else to tell you. California, North California, all the way up the West Coast. I mean, Idaho. Y'all just going to be cold for a long time. You're going to have a long, cold spring.
Do we grow elderberries? We have some.
We have some back down here. We got to get transplanted. We have them. We just got to get them transplanted.
Did you know that the cashew nuts are in the poison ivy family?
No, I did not know that. I know they come from an unusual plant, and I know that.
Trying to see. Oh, our apple trees are in full bloom. I haven't noticed.
Our apple trees aren't doing anything yet. No,
okay.
But our peach trees are. I know that. Yeah.
Do you have any good news for the Northeast? You're going to be cold too. I'm just
joking. No. The Northeast is also going to be cold.
Oh, I hit it? Oh, well, yeah. I was just guessing.
And I'm talking about the extreme Northeast. I'm talking about New Hampshire, Vermont, Maine, up in that area up there. Now, if you're down around Kentucky and, well, I know y'all call that a southern state. We don't. But if you're down in Kentucky or Virginia and all that, then you'll be okay.
So Ann J wants to know if putting an EMP shield on the Generac will protect the whole house. It'll protect the Generac.
It'll protect the Generac. You have to have it mounted on the electrical box itself.
And
you've got to make sure you catch both legs on it.
And
you got to have it grounded right.
Yeah.
It's got to go to a mechanical ground. That's where a lot of people make a mistake. Their boxes on their houses are not done properly. You've got to have a mechanical ground on that house going to a ground rod that's deep enough in the soil to work like it's supposed to work.
What side of the building is your pineapple house on, our greenhouse?
On the south side.
I live in Jamestown,
New York,
and we are having one day snow. The next day it's up 40 and above.
Just wait. You think it's bad now? Just wait. I promise you. You're going to have a lot more things to be concerned with.
Miss Lippy said Kentucky's not a southern state.
I know personally. Miss Lippy like to froze to death in Kentucky.
Yeah, she had to go back to Louisiana where she could stay warm. And she ain't staying too warm.
Well,
she's getting it. Oh.
Nostradamus says, my dad was from Kentucky. He used to get mad when we called him a Yankee.
Well, they can talk.
They talk more southern than we do.
Or more, I guess, with the southern accent.
Dan, is there a difference between an EMP caused by the sun as opposed to one set off by a nuclear type explosion? The sun does not cause an EMP. The sun causes a coronal mass ejection, a CME. An EMP is created by a nuclear fusion. So they're two different things, totally different. They work similarly.
And they cause the same
thing. Well, not quite. An EMP has 3 phases to it. A coronal mass ejection does not.
But I mean, it's still both of them kill your power.
Well, a coronal mass ejection will burn your house down.
What is the best sweet potato to grow in containers in Florida?
Oh, Lord.
There's Prep for Eternity.
I don't think it matters in Florida because you got so much heat and long summers. You can grow any of them.
Let's see. Do you think Goliath was a Bigfoot?
Do I think Goliath was a Bigfoot? No, Goliath was of the Nephilim family. He was one of the Nephilim. Goliath and his 5 brothers, or 4 brothers. I'm sorry, there was 4 of them.
Yeah, 5 altogether.
5 altogether.
All right, what else we got going?
What is a mechanical ground? That is a designated ground inside your external panel on your house. It's a designated ground that literally it shunts any lightning things or anything down to the ground rod. It goes down into the ground. Like when you're wiring your house, on the inside your house, you'll have 2 grounds on one side of the box, and there'll be one on the other side. One of them, all the copper wires go to. The other side, all the neutral white wires go to. You have designated ones. I can't go into all the details on it here because I don't have enough time, but that's how it's done.
Yeah, Plant Abundance says that they love eating the sweet potato greens. They do make a good salad, and
yes.
The little stems.
The stems are great for stir fry.
Stir fry. Yeah.
I had Korean people who used to come out and get mine before I fed them to the cows. They would get the stems and the leaves for stir fry and cooking them for greens.
Yeah. Do sweet potatoes grow really well? Do sweet potatoes really grow well in straw?
I can't answer that honestly because first of all, we live in the South. We don't have access to straw. And if we did, it would fill up with fire ants. So I can't really answer that.
Somebody asked, do we grow elderberries? Yeah, we answered that while ago.
Yeah, we answered that while ago, yes.
9B.
Until it doesn't matter.
Danny's going to be planting Danny corn or a field corn in March.
In March, we're going to be planting Danny corn.
We're going to be planting some green beans. We'll be doing the Cherokee yellow wax beans. The bush beans this time. We're not doing any pole beans because we had so much issues with the pole beans the last 2 or 3 years.
C. Roberts says, Danny, if you have 2 breaker boxes connected to your house without help, protect it before. First of all, you shouldn't have 2 breaker boxes connected to your house unless you have 2 separate things that you're trying to run off of it. It only takes 1 breaker box per house. Now you have an external breaker box and you have an internal breaker box. They make an EMP shield for either one. It doesn't matter.
And you'll have to ask them.
You'll have to ask them whether you want one for your box on the outside or whether you want one for the box on the inside of the house, because they're made a little different.
Okay, now, Miss Annette asked, were we concerned about our water being contaminated from the Ohio disaster?
No, we're not concerned here. Now, anybody up and down the Mississippi River, I would be concerned, but we're a long way from the Mississippi River. Did the web caging Donald live next to you? No, I knew Donald. No, he did not live next to me. He lived way over in Louisiana. He didn't live
He'd be closer to Mississippi.
He'd be closer to Miss. Well, he's over in southern Louisiana, but
yeah.
I mean, no, he did not live close to us.
Can you give the potato stalks to the rabbits? Sweet potatoes, yes.
Irish potatoes, no, they're poisonous. Sweet potatoes, yes.
They love them.
You can give them to the pigs, you can give them to cows, you can give them to the chickens, you can give them to anything.
Can you still use 2-year-old potting soil? I have 3 bags that I found.
Oh yeah, it doesn't.
Dirt's dirt.
Dirt is dirt. A soil is soil. They may be dried out a lot. All you gotta do is just rehydrate them. They'll still be fine.
Yeah, web caging was fun to watch. I love to watch him in his little.
I loved him.
What was he in, a go-kart? I mean,
golf cart.
Golf cart, not a go-kart.
A golf cart. Yeah.
He got a lot done and figured out ways to do it. What state are we in?
Mississippi. We're in Mississippi.
About 30 miles from the Mississippi
Gulf Coast. North of the Mississippi Gulf Coast.
Yeah, north. Otherwise, we'd be in the
Otherwise,
ocean.
well, you could go east and west, but you got to go north. You go south, you'll be out in the Gulf.
Do you ever get your teapot that was on the Amazon store wish list? Gosh, that's been so long ago, I wouldn't even remember.
I don't remember what you...
don't remember about a teapot right off. It probably was one for the cabin, and if it was, I do have most everything I had on my wish list for the cabin was already, I've already bought it or somebody sent it to me. So that's probably what it was. Do huckleberry bushes grow well in Virginia?
You know, I don't know about that because I've never roamed the hills of Virginia to know if even wild huckleberries grow up there. I know huckleberries are hard to transplant, and I know there's huckleberries in the mountains, but I know in the west part of the United States. Now, I don't know about the eastern part.
How did you two get to be so awesome? We were just born this way. I'm just joking.
Y'all made us that way.
We're not that awesome.
It was you all that made us awesome.
I guess when God put us together, he just made us click. And if you like us, you like us. If you don't, you don't. That's the way I look at it. Let's see. I saw...
Julia says, hold on. Julia says, I got an EMP shield for my condo, but it doesn't work. It works for single standing homes. If you're trying to take... It's only good... An EMP shield is only good for 300 to 400 feet.
But if she's in a condo,
but if you're in a condo, you can't put them on a condo unless you have an individual breaker box for your for yours. You can put it on the panel on the inside your condo. Now you can do that, the part that's on the inside of your thing where your breaker's right in the building. You can put it on that, but you can't put it to run the whole condo.
All right, how can I refresh the soil in the green stalk? They're planting fingerlings and bush beans.
Just take it out and redo it.
I take mine out. I take a big wash tub and I dump it one layer at a time, and I take and just work through it and fluff it up. And sometimes I add about half a bag of fresh soil because you use it, it goes down, it compacts. And you add a little bit of fresh soil and put it back in, and it works really good. Danny, can you please provide more info on U.S. has to be out of the way for Israel to do what it has to do?
Well, I mean, that's just biblical because the Bible says that Israel has to stand alone at the end of the age. And in order for Israel to stand alone, we're her number one ally. So for her to stand alone, we've got to be out of the picture. We cannot be her ally. We can't be there to protect her. because the Bible says she's going to be trodden underfoot. Literally, she's going to be wiped out off the map almost. But God's going to spare 144,000 of them that's going to actually rebuild Israel. And so, in order for that to happen, we can't be in the picture to protect her.
All right. Somebody said add worm castings when you do. Yes, through willows. You can add that worm castings, anything like that, to your green stalks to fluff them up.
I heard there is a second pandemic coming that will be a doozy. David, it's called SEERS.
That's one of the ones.
That's one of the ones that they're saying will be the next one. It has an 80% mortality rate. Now,
and there's another one too, but I can't.
There is another one, yes, but we're not going to go into that.
One is respiratory, and one is, what was the other one? Skin.
I'm not going into it.
Okay.
My Crooked Little Homestead. Danny, if I shut the main power switch off to my hydro service, will it still be okay? It depends on if your hydro service. This is where most people are getting confused. Most people say, well, if I undo the battery cable off my vehicle, nothing will happen to it. No, that battery cable becomes an antenna. And that antenna will pick up anything like an EMP or a coronal mass ejection or anything. Or your house is the same way. And I don't know how your hydro thing is set up. If it has a lot of wires going into it, those wires become antennas. So it just depends on how everything is set up.
Happy birthday, Mary. She said today is her birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday, Mary. Yeah.
Barbara says she loves my hat. Seriously, days go by. Forget to brush my hair. Well, today I had to put a hat on because I had a toboggan on earlier because it was cold and the wind was blowing part of the day. And my hair was all messed up. And I told Danny we were eating supper. I had 40 minutes to get the live stream going. And I'm like, I don't have time for a shower. So I threw on a hat.
Wanda Williams says, if the breaker is turned off, will that help? That plays no part in anything.
And this one just says, what does it say? Farm, what does it say?
Barn hair don't care.
That's it. How long should chicken manure sit before being used?
I like to let my chicken manure set about 6 months. Now, if I'm planting corn, when my corn's up about waist high, I don't even compost it. I just put it straight on the corn.
A toboggan is a sled up north. Yeah.
True. Well, that's true. Up north.
I call it a toboggan. I don't know if it's called a boggin or a beanie.
No, it ain't a beanie. We call them toboggans in the South.
Yeah, but I mean, people call them all kinds of...
A beanie is a totally different hat.
Okay, whatever. Danny, I just came in, though, thought what you were...
What's your thought on the train mess in Ohio? It was planned.
How many years will strawberry plants last in a green stalk? Mine's been there, some of them are 3 years old. And that's what I've been eating, is strawberries from the green stalk. Danny's got them in his high tunnel, and they're blooming like crazy. Yeah. So we have some in a raised bed in a high tunnel that have been doing good for, 3 years now. Yeah.
Did I hear about the solar flare? I just talked about the solar flare earlier. That's the first thing we talked about when we come on the air. Yes, I knew about it. It'll be here tomorrow or the next day.
Yeah. How long does it take to grow onions?
Oh, it depends on where you live. If you live in the South, if you live in the central part of the United States, or if you live in the North. If you live in the South, you have to have short day onions. If you live in the middle part of the United States, you need intermediate day. If you live in the North, you need long day onions. We plant ours around November, and we harvest them about May, somewhere around May. So you just figured the time.
All right.
What about pulling out the meter? Will it stop an EMP? Laugh out loud. No. The problem is you're not going to know when an EMP is coming.
No.
They're not going to give you a heads up. They're not going to warn you that they're fixing to EMP you.
Yeah, you have time to go do something now. Are we selling the garlic, the pecan orchard? I've already sold all I'm going to sell, and we replanted a lot. So I sold a good bit.
Let me mention something. We were sent a message a while ago over in Atwood, Alabama, at a Walmart store over there. somebody put razor blades underneath the handle of the Walmart shopping cart, and when someone grabbed it, it splits their hands wide open. So, guys, the United States is getting more wicked by the day. I told y'all in 2019, God told me that his hand had been lifted off of this nation. And things had begun to go downhill from that point forward. And people now are just wicked. They're just they just want to see people hurt. So wickedness is running rampant. Y'all just pay attention to everything you do. Don't just run up and grab a shopping cart. Look.
You know how many times I've done that and not thought twice?
I always grab them from the side. I've always done that.
But you gotta be on your toes. You gotta check everything.
1 Million Pumpkin says we got black helicopter groups flying over, and I don't know why. Well, there's lots of maneuvers going on right now. We're getting ready. We're actually in World War III, but we're getting ready to well, I can't go into that. I'll get in trouble.
All right. People are asking about us selling seeds. Right now, mainly all we have is some Cherokee Tam pumpkins, and as fast as I put those seeds up, they disappear. And the reason I don't put a lot of them up is because I hate sitting and counting them.
Yeah.
And if Danny gets time and he counts seeds out, because he checks them to see how they do. And if I have to do them, I don't check them as well as he does.
Yeah.
And so I just hate counting seeds out. Danny's my seed counter, and he hadn't had time to count seeds. And we really don't have anything else up right now. They're doing it at gas pump handles, too.
Another person said they're putting fentanyl on the razors.
Ooh, I figured they were putting something on them. Danny and I are really, we go the extra mile. We pull up to a local guy that pumps gas for us and lets him do it.
We still have an old-fashioned service station in our town, and the guy pumps the gas for us. We don't even have to get out of the vehicle. Matter of fact, he goes inside the store and turns the pump on every time he pumps fuel.
What do you think about Biden's equity rules going into effect in 30 days?
Guys, this is the most deranged individual that has ever been. Of course, we all know he's a puppet on a string. But we're living in a wicked society now. I've told y'all my belief is that America is part of Mystery Babylon, the process of it. And I see it every day in things that's happening here. Scripture says she's the hammer of the world. And what do? We go around, we police the whole world. The Scripture says that she's committed fornication with the whole world. And we've done that. Literally, all you got to do is look at what's going on in the Ukraine and all these places, how we've manipulated things, and guys, it's just horrible.
Yeah, and somebody asked, how do you save seeds from tomatoes? Danny has a video.
I have a video on that.
Seeds from tomatoes. Type in saving tomato seeds, Deep South Homestead or something like that, and it should come up.
What kind of nutrients do onions need to thrive? Onions in the beginning, they need lots of water and heavy nitrogen. When I tell you nitrogen, don't go buy this organic nitrogen and put around onions. Put real nitrogen to those onions where lots of it, where they will grow.
They were also talking about these college revivals, and they're breaking out, and that is awesome.
That's awesome.
That is one of the best things that could happen, is these kids coming to know Jesus, and it needs to be not just colleges, it needs to be everywhere.
Carlos says, isn't Mystery Babylon the Vatican? No, you got to look at how Scripture is worded. Mystery Babylon, it says that when she burns in 1 hour, that the ships are setting off of her seashores, wailing and lamenting for the loss of trade. When you go to the Vatican, there's no seashores to sit around. I mean, America literally has seashores on all sides except the north and one part of the south.
Can I plant some garlic now that is sprouting?
Yeah, you can plant garlic once it sprouts. You can dig it up and move it.
Yeah.
Do we ferment any foods? A few, not a lot.
Somebody said they were an hour and a half from the train wreck. I think they said south. I can't remember.
It all
Wondering if it would
depends on
affect
which.
our
It all
soil.
depends on the wind direction, which way the jet stream blows where you live at, and all that.
Yeah.
Lady Valerie says the Lady Liberty is a sign of Babel, a symbol of Babel. It is a god of Mithras. Look up the goddess Mithras, and then look at the Statue of Liberty. They're almost identical.
Let's see.
Uh,
What do you call real nitrogen?
What do I call real nitrogen? Real nitrogen is something like properly composted chicken manure, or I just go by the granulated nitrogen in the little 1 pound bags. That's or I'll use Miracle Grow is nothing but pure liquid nitrogen. I know it's owned by Monsanto, but that doesn't matter. It's still pure liquid nitrogen. The only problem with it is if you use it too regularly on regular plants, there's like a crack cocaine. They get addicted to it if you don't keep using
And if
it.
you quit using it, they
will die. So you have to be careful when you use it.
Okay, 3 Mississippi just popped in here.
Hello. I love him and Mike. I swear.
Danny has to go watch
I have
Sid
to.
and
I have
Mike
to
all
watch
the
Sid,
time.
Mike, and Frankie. I mean, I have fell in love with you guys. I literally have fell in love with you.
They need to make a trip deep south.
I'm telling you, I love the way Mike drives. Mike's like me when it comes to driving his little Ranger around.
Oh, Danny almost pulled a Mike the other day.
I did.
When he got through, what was it with the bucket, the handle? You had to push it back and something.
One of my on my grapple.
And you said Mike did this.
Well, I tried to tell Mike how to fix this thing. One of my grapple.
That happened to him.
One of my grapple things, the lever had flipped up on it, and I didn't see it, and I picked up something, and it twisted it where it wouldn't go back on. So I said, well, all you got to do is put it up against a tree and rebend it. That's all I did was put that side against a tree and pushed it, and I just rebent it back because it twisted the arms. And I hooked it right back up, and I told her, I said, that's what I was trying to tell Mike to do on his thing when he messed up his thing.
You and Mike, you are copying Mike? Oh my goodness. Wait, Danny can't copy Mike. I was laughing. How do you freeze dry your cabbage? Do you blanch it first? I have not freeze dried any cabbage. I was going to, but we've been eating ours fresh for
we've been eating fresh
2 months or better.
Yeah, man, we've been eating
and
a lot
we've got
fresh.
one left. I'll probably harvest it tomorrow or the next day. So I've just been, we've had fresh cabbage, and it's been awesome. And I did can some cabbage, and it was good. It's called pickled cabbage. Miss Lippy has a recipe for that.
Can figs be grown from cuttings? Yeah, figs are very easy to root. Extremely easy. Bonnie says they don't answer some of us. We can't answer everybody because it moves so fast. We just have to.
We pick and choose.
We just have to pick and choose whichever one our eyes can catch.
Don says they watched Hollis and Nancy's
Where's
super
that at?
duper seed dropper.
There it is.
Yes,
yeah.
Hollis had contacted us last year.
Yeah.
And said he was doing a video. They do their videos a year out.
A year in advance. Yeah.
A year into the future.
Yeah.
And so when they do a video, like he did the video last year, and they just posted it this year. And so he sent us a message the other night and told us when it was posted and everything. And when they first started their channel, we gave them shout outs. Nancy and I both worked with some of the same places and did collaborations and stuff like that. So we've known Nancy and Hollis for a long time.
Yeah. Is Danny a pastor? I was at one time, but I'm not anymore. I've been divorced and remarried and all that. And I'm not eligible for it, so I'll leave that where it's at.
Kimberly said, I tried growing turkey figs in Zone 5, but they didn't make it.
Figs require lots and lots of mulch around the roots. All the roots of a fig tree grow right on the top of the ground. If they're not mulched around 6 to 8 inches deep in the wintertime, it will kill the tree back.
Okay, Craig French wants to know, with the future rise of oceans, does that conflict with God's promise in Genesis 9?
No. In Genesis 9, the promise that God made, you have to pay attention to how it's worded. God said, I will not destroy the whole world with water again, like he did in the beginning. It did not say that he would not destroy parts of the world with water. He said, I will not destroy the face of the earth with water again.
Mm-hmm.
So parts of the world, yes, will be destroyed by water again, but not the whole earth. That's like saying we're not going to have springtime and harvest and seed time. They said the Bible says we'll have seed time and harvest and spring and winter and summer all till Christ comes back or the end of the world. Yes, that's true, but it doesn't say we're going to have it everywhere on the face of the earth.
Because some places have famine when other places
Some places, well, we had a year without a summer one year, and thousands died in Europe in 1815, 1816, and then thousands died in the United States because the northern states couldn't grow anything because it frosted all year long.
So people in the south could grow,
but
people up north could not. Sandra had asked this before, and I meant to try and catch it. I love your carrot manual, but hers are yellow. Is there something that they need?
Well, usually when they begin to turn yellow, they've reached their peak and they're beginning to die out. Either that or they're overwatered.
Amanda said, so far my baby raspberry plants I got last year made it through the Arctic blast. Loretta says, do you believe that the eggs and other food plants are being destroyed on purpose?
Oh, I do believe that, yeah. Yes.
Right, let's see.
Need to keep politics out of the chat. Yes, we need to keep politics out of the chat, guys. We really don't need to talk about it because it will get us pulled. I've already had some videos pulled. So
because
we have
if you mention certain people and
Yeah.
certain things. Danny, do you hold back watering fig trees during the summer?
No, I water my fig trees as often as I mean, it doesn't matter. Fig trees can take, as long as they don't sit in water, they're okay.
What is your definition of revival?
What is my definition of revival? Well, I don't think that we're going to see any more revivals. I'll be honest with you. I'm talking about national revivals. Now, I think we can I think we can have personal revivals. I think we can have community revivals. But I don't think we'll ever see a national revival again, because when God told me that his hand had been lifted off the nation, that our cup of iniquity was full, that we had shook our fist in his face for the last time, he, through Scripture, told me that it didn't matter what Wanda and I wanted to do, because at the time we were looking about moving somewhere up to central United States or something like that. He told me, I don't care where you go, I'm going to bless you. It doesn't matter. Do wherever you want to go. If you want to move in the city, I'll bless you. But Wanda and I wisely chose a different location because we knew we did not need to be above the 33rd parallel.
Will carrots grow hairy from lack of water?
No, carrots grow hairy from from too much age. The older they get, the more hair roots they get on them, and the more strong tasting, bitter tasting they become.
Have we ever grown different colored carrots other than orange?
Yes, we've grown purple ones, yellow ones. Matter of fact, we have them canned. The only thing about a purple carrot is if you can a purple carrot, it turns orange.
Yeah, type in Deep South Homestead and carrots, and we used to grow the purple ones, the yellow ones, and the orange ones. They were beautiful, laid out on our our carport here.
Yes, 1 Million Pumpkin says there's a revival in my heart. That's what I'm saying. You can have a personal revival.
And Ashbury, or wherever that is, they are having revival. We're not saying there's not revivals. He said there's not going to be
I don't believe there's going to be a national revival.
Worldwide. There could be pockets of revivals.
Yes, they can be pockets of
and
revival.
lots of pockets. But will our nation ever have a revival and the nation come under back to God? That's what he's saying. I think they took that wrong.
I think they really made it take it wrong. Danny, do y'all do seed swapping? We used to, but we got hooked to so many seeds that people who did not know how to save seeds,
we got some humdingers of varieties.
We growed some stuff I didn't even know what it was, and then we wasted our space from growing, and then we actually ordered seeds from companies that done the same exact thing. So now we only save our own seeds.
Are we still on Freesteading? Yes, we are.
Yes.
Freesteading is one of our only social medias. I don't do Facebook with our channel or anything. I do have a Deep South page,
Yeah.
but I shut down all the groups and everything that I was doing over there because it's just a hassle. And Freesteading, I jump on and check out what people's doing. I may not comment or post every day, but I try to comment and post and see what's going on every day. But I do what I can over there.
Gene says, please explain about the 33rd parallel. I've mentioned this in tons of our videos. Based off of the grand solar minimum that we're going through, there is going to be events that take place in our solar system and our climate that's going to prevent anything above the 33rd parallel. It's going to be kind of difficult between the 33rd and the 45th parallel to grow things because that's going to be the zone where the weather is going to be a roller coaster, and then when you go above the 45th parallel, it's going to be extremely difficult, if not almost impossible in the future to grow anything.
All right, Tanya's townhouse wants to know why her question keeps getting ignored, and I have no idea because I don't even
see it.
I'm trying to run the chat back, and Tanya, I have no clue.
Tanya, we
don't see every.
I don't even see it.
I mean, I have no clue. So if you have a question, post it again, and if we see it, we'll try to answer it, but I can't guarantee it.
Yeah, she just rolled the chat way back, and we didn't see it in there anywhere.
She said something I did first time. I'm not sure what you asked, so you'll just have to put it up again, and maybe we can be watching for it. But
okay,
what is the best type of soil or compost to add to garden beds that have a lot of clay?
If you have a lot of clay, add gypsum in with compost. Gypsum helps to break up the clay particles and makes the ground a little more pliable.
We do not grow snow peas. We grow English peas.
We grow what's called shelling. It's called shelling peas.
Yeah, green peas.
Yeah.
I have some in my high tunnel now that are already starting to run and latch on.
Somebody wants to know, where are these? It just went past me. Where are these parallels located? If you want the 33rd parallel, look at the top of Louisiana. The top of Louisiana and draw a line straight across the United States. That is the 33rd parallel. Anything above that, all the way up to the 45th, is going to be a roller coaster. It's going to be difficult. The weather is going to be your worst enemy.
So I'm missing. Danny, have you or Wanda ever had a truffle? If so, what's the big deal? I've never had it.
Truffles don't grow down here where we're at. Truffles mainly grow up in the mountainous regions, and we don't have anything down here like that.
Says, how do you grow snow peas? We do not grow snow peas.
We don't grow snow peas.
What is the best way to purify water?
With a filter.
Well, an Alexapure.
An Alexapure.
Or any other type of filters that you have. But we have an Alexapure.
You can do it through a lot of charcoal and sand. If you don't have any other way to do it, you can use charcoal and sand to do it. But that doesn't necessarily get rid of the chemicals out of it. Now, you need to pick a filter system. We use Alexapure that gets rid of lots of the chemicals.
Yeah, people are saying look at a map that has the parallels around it and you'll know.
Yeah.
Let's see, Amanda, I see Ron popped in. Amanda said,
it's going so fast my eyes can't read it.
Where are y'all at just to compare gardening advice, wondering if we are in the same zone?
We're in zone 8. We're 30 miles north of the Mississippi Gulf Coast, Amanda.
Darlene says, how's the growth in my high tunnel? Awesome. I lost a few of the potatoes when that hard freeze came, but some potatoes are still growing. The English peas are doing amazing. The tomatoes are blooming like crazy. I've got several tomatoes. I did a video this past week showing it on Deep South where it says something about music in the greenhouse because I was showing a radio. And I will do a video probably tomorrow announcing who gets the radio.
I'm sitting here trying to read these things. Hold on.
I know it's flipping so fast.
It's going so fast.
Do you use biochar?
No. I make yes and no. I don't buy biochar. I have biochar where I burn stuff and add into my stuff out of our fireplace and different things like that. I had the potash out of my fireplace and all.
I guess Tanya's townhouse was asking, how do you sprout artichokes?
I don't know. We don't grow artichokes.
Okay, that's what she was asking.
Okay.
I didn't see it, so I didn't know.
Tanya, we don't grow artichokes here.
Are
They're very invasive, so we don't grow them here.
Yeah. Are we using any of the Jadam gardening? Some principles
we use.
And I have all the chemicals, not chemicals, I guess I shouldn't say chemicals.
No, you shouldn't
Somebody's
say chemicals.
going to get. I have all the ingredients to make up several of them. But as long as we have other things right now, that's what we're using. And I have these in storage because we're kind of prepping up for if there's no fertilizer that we have. So I have things in place, plus we're using some things.
Will the bleach or shock purify water? I would not use it for drinking. Now, one or two drops of bleach purifies, I forget how many gallons of water. But I personally don't believe in putting chlorine in my system. I don't drink community water. I don't drink city water. I don't bathe in it because your body's one giant cell. The skin of your body absorbs more chemicals than it would if you drank it. So we don't bathe in it. We don't even have it, period. We live strictly off a well.
Yeah.
Do Corona carrots taste like the Imperiator? I don't really know that. We've never grown the Imperiator. We grew Danvers Half Long was our favorite carrot before we went to the Corona. The Corona to us is probably the best tasting carrots.
Nancy wants to know, have I ever done any peppercorn plant care videos? No, I just planted them in my high tunnel. I water them. When I fertilize things, I fertilize them too, and they grow, and I just keep running them on things, and I trim them back when they need trimming if they get out of hand. And when I get too many plants in there, I dig them up and sell them on Etsy.
Are we setting back for no fertilizer? Smart. Yes, we purchase fertilizer in bulk usually.
And like I said, I've got the Jadam book. I have those mixtures on hand, and we also have rabbits for fertilize. We have chickens. We have cows, and our cows are not getting any hay that is Grazon or Remedy or 2,4-D sprayed. Right. So we're getting there.
Oh gosh, if I could see it
keeps
fast.
It's making my eyes run.
Yeah, I know it. Where can I buy Corona carrot seeds from? You can get them from Hall's Tool, or you can get them from Kitazawa Seed Company.
We bought like a whole pound.
We buy them about a pound. In order to do that, we go through Kitazawa to be able to get them.
Yeah, and they're not that expensive when you buy them by the pound through Kitazawa. That way we have enough carrot seeds, because carrot seeds is a 2-year thing, and you can't save your seeds, and we don't want to be without carrot seeds. So,
will low and high tunnels help with growing this year? Yes, you will definitely going to need a high tunnel, or we don't do low tunnels because low tunnels are so difficult to control the temperature in.
Because we get too hot.
It just gets too hot here. So we only do a high tunnel where we can roll the sides up on it.
In our high tunnels, we have been using for the last 3 years the golden bloom from, what's it called?
Dr. Earth.
Dr. Earth. The golden bloom. And it works really, really well. In mine, in the last few months, I've been using fish emulsion. And it's been working really good. It stinks to high heaven, but it works.
Should we let the land rest every 7 years? Someone told them they should. There's nothing wrong with doing that. That's just a biblical principle that was given to the Hebrews. It was never given to the Gentile nations, but there's nothing wrong with doing it. We do it occasionally because we have like 5 gardens, and we don't plant some of them sometimes, and sometimes we plant the others. We let them rest every so many years. So it's not going to hurt anything, but you're not under law to do it according to the Bible.
They're putting links for Kitazawa. Somebody spelled it with an S. It's with a Z, and it's Z-A-W-A.
Kitazawa.
Z-A-W-A, yeah. Let's see. Danny, do you plan to live completely without refrigeration in the future?
If there's no electricity, I will have no choice.
Yeah. I mean, nobody has.
We don't want to live without refrigeration. I'm not going to do it on purpose. Let me put it that way. I'm not purposely.
Okay, I like my ice in my water. I'm just saying.
Now I don't drink ice in my water, but I don't drink anything cold. As a matter of fact, I don't use. The only thing we use refrigeration for is to preserve our food.
Yeah. And we kind of like having some things cold.
Yeah.
And I like my coleslaw. I make it up, and if I didn't have a refrigerator to put it in, we would have to eat it all in one day, and we couldn't do that. My coleslaw lasts like 3 and 4 days because the cabbage are so big.
Yeah.
And so we kind of like having our refrigerator. We're not going to do without it.
Ninja Blue says, "What is the difference between a high tunnel and a greenhouse?" I have a short video on that.
Being sarcastic.
3.5 feet. 3.5 feet is the difference between a greenhouse and a high tunnel.
How would you help support your immune system as far as mucousy congestion?
Mullein. We would use mullein.
Okay. Let's see.
What does a CME do? A CME literally heats up all the electrical lines and the wiring in your house, and it causes everything to catch on fire. If you go back and look at the Carrington event, you will see that light poles caught on fire, telegraph offices caught on fire, and what's what people don't understand, the wiring in your house will actually heat up and catch your house on fire.
Okay, somebody wants to know which is better, hybrid chickens or heritage chickens, according to purpose.
It all depends on what you want to do with them. If you're looking for meat chickens, now the American breast chicken is probably the best all-around heritage breed chicken for meat and eggs. But if you're looking for just meat chickens, you know, the Cornish cross is probably, or the Red Rangers, those are really two good breeds. But if you're looking for a good egg layer, the ISA Browns are probably the best out there. I mean, you can get the Buff Orpingtons. I mean, they make a good meat bird plus egg layer. I mean, there's lots of them.
Did y'all work on the land today, or is it still too wet?
Nope.
Ask Miss Patty what we did.
Yep, just ask the people in our chat here, Miss Patty and Mr. Jesse. They helped us all day today. We work every day, anywhere between, or I do, every day, anywhere between 8 and 12 to 14 hours a day. Yeah.
Today I had Patty helping me stain boards for a privacy fence. I think we stained approximately 75 or 80 of them, and I think I've got 35 left out of 245.
Careful what you say.
And then had Jesse sanding some boards, and then Danny was moving some dirt.
I was moving dirt from the pond. We're having the pond enlarged into a really big pond.
Yeah.
And I've been moving dirt constantly, putting on the backside of the dam.
Yeah. So we got a lot done today. And
those of you on Patreon, y'all will get some glimpses of it here pretty soon, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, and I have to apologize. I put videos up, but not as frequently right now because it's been hard to work all day and get things done at night. Plus, we've had company this week.
Danny, the 33rd parallel runs through my property. Should I be worried about being able to grow? No, don't be worried about being able to grow. Get, what's the right word I want to use here? Get creative with your growing, because you're going to have to. If you notice on the 33rd parallel, the weather has been wicked, and it's not going to get any better. So just be creative with your growing.
Even people up north, you're on a short span of time to grow. So be ready. I mean, if you start your plants inside, be ready to get them in your raised beds or your gardens or whatever, your high tunnels.
Be ready to cover them up if you have to all of a sudden. Be ready to protect them from flooding. Be ready to protect them from drought. I mean, just be ready.
Yeah. It's going to be hey, what we used to do isn't going to work all the time. You got to be very creative with your gardening now.
Danny, have you ever used chicken livers as catfish bait? Yes, I have. As a matter of fact, I use them.
We got some in the freezer now.
I got some in the freezer now. Yep.
What do you think of the American Breeze? I think you answered that a while ago, didn't you?
Yeah, I talked about the American breast chicken a while ago. Would
canned long-term seeds kept in the refrigerator be okay?
You don't have to keep seeds in the refrigerator. The only seeds you have to, this is one thing people get a bad misconception on. There's only certain seeds that need to be refrigerated for 2 weeks, and then you can leave them in the refrigerator if you want to. That's corn, peas, and I'm talking about peas, I'm about southern field peas, and peanuts. Those are really the only 3 seeds that ever need to be kept cold.
Yeah. Going to try bush beans in pots this year. We did some of those, and they worked really well.
They worked really well. Now, we amended our pots really well. We done soil tests and pH tests and all that in them, and they done fantastic.
Miss Allison says she bought a grow room to set up in her garage to make sure most of her veggies were protected. She's in New York, so she really needs to keep hers protected. I have a video that I've got to make and do on grow lights. I have a different type of grow light that we're going to test this next week. So I'm going to be doing that. And I'm going to be giving away a set of the grow lights too. So y'all can be watching for that. You can put a regulator on a refrigerator to keep it at 60. Makes a great seed bank. Yes.
Yes, you can do that. Yes.
Danny, do you know about wood gasification?
Yes, I know about wood gasification. It's a process. I mean, it's not a hard process once you get it down pat. If you want to go that route, there's Ron.
He said, "I want to try a goji berry cutting giveaway in the spring again." I thought all mine had died, but I looked the other day and this one of them was sprouting out again. Yeah. So I guess it just kind of died back. So I'm going to see.
We're probably not going to do one again this year, Ron.
I'm so busy.
We don't have time.
I'm having time to get Etsy out right now. I have actually forgot my Etsy orders for a couple of days this week, and I have to apologize. But I did get them out. It's totally slipped my mind. After using sweet potatoes to make slips, what is to be done with the little sweet potatoes?
They said nothing about no little. What's to be done with the sweet potatoes that are saved?
Oh, in the ground?
In the ground, you throw them away. Once you get all the slips done, you just pull them out and throw them away. They ain't no good for nothing.
Tanya is in Detroit. How do I protect my garden?
I'm in Detroit. How do I protect my garden? You're going to have to use row covers, hoop houses, whatever you can do to protect it.
Okay, so I gotta look at this one because I gotta know what she said. Come on, go off. Miss Debbie said, when you grow peanuts and harvest them, how do you get them salted inside and out?
They have to be boiled in rock salt. You boil them in a giant pot in rock salt. Now, don't use an aluminum pot. Use a stainless steel pot, boil your peanuts in it, or you can use an enamel pot or whatever. But you have to boil them in it, and then you have to let them sit in it and soak for a certain length of time before you take them out.
Okay, what's the smallest plot you can have for sweet corn?
Well, the thing about any corn is, if you only have short rows, you don't want to make 1 or 2 long rows. You'd be better to make 4 or 5 short rows than it would to make 2 or 3 long rows. I would say probably a 20 by 20 or 30 by 30 would be probably the smallest that I would do for a good pollinating crop.
Thank you, Plant Abundance. Come back. Is horse manure good for anything?
It's okay if it's been composted down, but be very careful with horse manure because they may have eaten hay that's been treated with Grazon, Remedy, or 2,4-D or any other herbicide like that. It'll go straight through them and it'll go into the manure. It will kill your plants.
Patty from Southern Bless said she made my squash casserole tonight and it was yummy. Good. There's ways to make squash and hide it because most people don't like eating squash. So squash casserole is one excellent way to eat squash, especially canned squash.
Yeah.
I put hoops with plastic in my greenhouse for double insulation.
That's okay. If you live in a cold zone, that's really good. That's not a bad idea. We basically done that with our tomato plants. We just put tarpaulin over ours inside our greenhouse.
How many acres per cow do you recommend?
Depends on the breed of cows. We have Dexters. We can put up to 2 and 3 cows per acre. But if you have a large breed like a Charolais or a Brangus or anything like that, you better have really good grass if you do 1 cow per acre.
All right, Freedom Will Prevail says, are there any counties in Mississippi where I can buy a small plot of land and set up an RV? I've looked at the Gulf Coast counties and there's lots of regulations. Yes.
Yeah, in order to get away from the regulations, you're going to have to get above the 6 coastal counties, because the 6 coastal counties are under Agenda 21.
And it doesn't mean that people don't have
No,
that set up, because there are people all around here that have camper trailers they live in. They really do.
But it's hard to find land that don't have serious restrictions on it.
And the problem is, you can do it, but sometimes there are regulations with the power company. There's regulations with the water company. It's according to where you're at and who you talk to and who you know.
Kathy says, is black cow safe to get this year? I know Nancy and Hollis use black cow.
Yeah, they use it all the time.
They use lots of it, and they have good luck with it now. I personally don't use it. I've used it a couple of times, but I'm always leery since I got graze on that I might end up with it again in my soil, because I had to dig all my soil out, and I really steer clear of it. But Hollis and Nancy use it all the time, and they have good luck. So I mean,
and their gardens are beautiful. If you're in town and you want to know how to garden, Hollis and Nancy have videos galore showing their garden, and it's strategically laid out.
Yeah.
I mean, every plant is strategic, and it's perfect, and it looks awesome.
Okay.
What is
Liberal Walker, Mr. Danny, what is the easiest and quickest and humane way to dispatch a rabbit? There's 2 different ways. They make a thing you can stick his head in, and you can jerk him real quick, and it stretches his neck and pops it out of place, and he dies instantly. Or we just hold him up by the back feet and take a stick and just tap him on the back of the head behind the ears, and it usually renders them unconscious, so you can cut their throat and bleed them out while they're unconscious.
What do you feed the Dexter cows? What do they eat?
I give mine about a quart of feed a day called Tasty 14. It's just a mixture of corn or cracked corn and molasses and just different types of grains. Just something other. Basically, it doesn't put any weight on them or do anything like that. It just keeps them tame, so that if I need to do anything with them and I go to feed them, they'll just come running.
Can she plant corn in the same spot?
Yes, you can plant corn in the same place year after year as long as you re-amend the soil.
Nadia, just report any of those. If anybody that gets anything in under your comments and it looks like Deep South saying you won something, no, you did not. I don't answer people under comments. It is spam. Report them.
How are the oak tree varieties that you planted a few years ago doing?
We need to do a video.
I have one right now in a pot that I'm fixing to move over to Pecan Grove. It's about, I guess that thing must be 6 feet tall now.
And all the others, Danny keeps trimming them, and they're bushing out. They're probably...
some of them's 10 and 12 feet tall, and then some of them ain't 5 foot tall. But I'm trying to train them to grow a specific way, and I have to keep cutting them back to make them grow. But now I think I finally got them where that they're going to grow good. How big is Kenny now? Kenny's got to be a pretty good little old calf right now. He's just as gentle as he can be.
I need to do some more videos, but Danny runs and feeds them. I run feed my chickens. We head out and we come in late, and I haven't been taking time to film a whole lot here. So we got to do that maybe tomorrow.
Can I make corn cracked? Yeah. If you got the right equipment, you can crack it. We crack ours. I mean,
the scammers in the comments are bad. I had, in a 24-hour period, I think I had 3 different scammers going at one time, 3 different messages, and I have deleted and deleted and deleted and reported, and it's crazy. So,
how's the restoration on your rifle going? It's actually a shotgun. I haven't had time to actually do any bluing of the barrels or anything like that. I have sanded them with somebody sent us some 3000 grit sandpaper. I have been working on sanding them and getting them ready. I just haven't had a chance to do it.
All right, somebody says, suggest a pecan tree variety.
It all depends on Ron, it all depends on where you live at as to what variety does the best. I mean, there's different varieties for different zones. I can't really request any one.
All right, somebody's
Here.
asking about popcorn. Reap what you sow gardening. We get our popcorn from Braggadocio, Missouri, from
McCaskill Farms.
McCaskill Family Farm.
Yeah.
And I just ordered some last week. I ordered a 25-pound bag. And Danny and I are going to be grinding some corn and making our grits and cornmeal soon with our China meal.
Our China meal, we call it, yeah.
And I thought I was out this week, and people had sent us cornmeal, and I want to thank you for Palmetto Farms, I think. We had some from where you used to live. What's it called? If I hadn't said
Williamsville.
Williamsville.
We got some from Williamsville up in Philadelphia, Mississippi. We had a subscriber that come through there. They brought us some from up there.
Yeah. And Stone Ground. And then we had Palmetto Farms, and what was the other one? Braggadocio. We had some cornmeal and grits from Braggadocio from McCaskill Family Farms. So I've been gradually using all this up before we grind our own. And then I ordered from McCaskill, I ordered popcorn and the white basmati rice. We love basmati rice, and this is grown in the U.S. It doesn't have chemicals and stuff, all this craziness. He's pretty organic with his stuff.
Yeah.
And I always order the organic.
Right.
And I ordered a 25-pound bag of that, so we're good with rice and popcorn for a long time. No, I'm going to grind.
No, we're gonna have to get some more popcorn.
But we eat popcorn almost every night, so this is some of the best popcorn.
Yeah, we're trying to stay local as much as we can in the United States when we order and stuff. And McCaskill Farms has really and graciously been working with us.
They're great.
They're just great people to work with. If you have a question about anything, they'll talk to you personally. We order lots of stuff from them. We don't have an affiliate link, I don't guess, do we, or anything like that?
No, but if you tell Mr. Steve, his name is Steve.
His name is Steve, yeah.
Yeah, or Miss Kay from McCaskill Farm. You tell them that Danny and Wanda sent you from Deep South, and they just keep it in their mind.
Yeah.
You know, they know, because the first time we mentioned them, they sold out that night of popcorn.
Yeah.
They were like, Mr. Steve called the next day saying, "Oh my goodness, y'all."
Yeah.
So, yeah, they have some really good popcorn.
Do we reread the messages again and go there and answer questions later? No, we do not. We don't have time to go back and reread everything.
No, I don't even. Danny has to help with messages on regular videos.
Yeah.
When this is said and done, it goes up, and I never come back and look at it. I mean, I don't even look at our old videos.
I look at the comments that's left. I usually do it like 4 to 5 o'clock in the morning.
But not this.
But I don't go back and look at the chat. I hardly ever go back and look at the chat.
Yeah.
The only time I'll go back and look at the chat is for, like, if someone mentions a prayer request or something, I'll go back to look at that. But that's about all.
Can you suggest a sheep breed that does well in the South?
Well, the Katahdins do well in the South. The La Manchas do well in the South.
La Mancha was a goat.
No, the Kiko that's a goat.
That's a goat.
Kiko's a goat.
The Katahdin's a sheep.
The Katahdin, here we go, black-faced dorper.
That's it.
Yeah, black-faced dorper and the Katahdins. Those are the two that do best in the South, down where we're at anyway.
How many microwaves can you grow using microwave popcorn? I don't know. It would be worth a try, but I don't need a microwave.
We don't own a microwave, so I don't know.
How can you get the victory we can? Oh, Truth Seeker. Okay, I was trying to remember. Prayers for the people with the earthquakes and flooding. Yes, and the freezing weather.
Yes.
Yeah, La Mancha's a goat. Yeah, he was mixing his goats.
I was getting my goats and my sheep mixed up there.
You can't cross them.
Thoughts on pink banana squash? Does it store well? I don't know, because we don't grow any pink banana squash here. I have absolutely no idea about that.
Where is McCaskill Farms located? Braggadocio, Missouri.
Yes.
They are in Braggadocio. And I'm talking good popcorn. Y'all would enjoy it.
Yeah. Do we still have Hank? No, Hank ran away, what,
3
about
years ago.
2 or 3 years ago. He
About
ran
3.
away, and we had never seen him again.
They're talking about goats now. Yeah, Danny just got his goats and his sheep.
Yeah,
mixed
I got my
up.
goats and my sheep mixed up there for a few minutes. We had Katahdins and black-faced Dorper. That's
I
the
like
two.
the black-faced Dorper. I like the look of them.
I love the black-faced Dorper. That big ram we had, that's what he was. He was a black-faced Dorper. And I'll tell you what, the sheep meat where we live at down here is very expensive. And probably, I'll be honest with you, the sheep meat is the best meat I've ever eaten in my life.
All right, somebody wants to know, can you plant popcorn from a bag from the grocery store?
Yes, you can, because I have done it.
And I planted popcorn last year in my high tunnel. And if you go back and watch on Crazy Days, that's my channel, and it's DAZES. I'll show beginning to end growing popcorn in a high tunnel and harvesting it and popping popcorn from my own. But I mean, you'd have to grow a lot of popcorn to,
You would.
to really do what we do. We eat popcorn like 4 or 5 times a week.
Yeah, somebody asked a while ago about my knee. My knee is still not well, but I've learned to live with it the way that it is.
I wonder how many people's popping popcorn right now.
I don't know, but now see, Mr. Ray said he's still praying for my knee. Thank you, Mr. Ray, for that. We're still praying for your wife.
What is a good tomato to plant from Lowe's?
I have no idea because I don't shop at Lowe's. I mean, I'm sorry, we just don't do that.
We don't have a Lowe's here. Michael said he's woodworking late. How late? Woodworking and more. How late am I?
You're right at the end. As a matter of fact, we're 13 minutes. We're 15 minutes over.
We usually didn't do till 8, but we've been coming on at 7 because that gives us time to get a few things done and then head to bed. And
did we ever solve the deer problem eating our gardens down? Yes, we did. We went over to Permapasture Farms with Mr. Billy. We bought his bone sauce. We put it on the trees around our stuff, and we've had no more problems with the deer eating anything.
Yeah, see, I wonder how many of us popping popcorn. Several of them saying they want popcorn. Do you ever pop Danny corn?
No, Danny corn is a dent corn. It is not a popcorn.
What apple tree variety will grow best in zone 8A?
There's only 3 apple varieties. Now, all of them will grow, but now when it comes to producing, we use the Anna, the Ein Shamir, or the Dorset Golden. That's the only 3 that we really grow here that actually produces an apple. Now, all of them will grow and make a beautiful tree, but very few of them produce an apple.
Let's see. I'm trying to read. It's
going by so fast. That's hard.
I know. Is STA green a good soil? I've never heard of that.
Never heard of it. I don't know.
Somebody wants to know what is the best tomato to plant. It's according to what you want to use it for.
Depends on if you're looking for a slicing tomato or if you're looking for something to make ketchup out of or
whatever. What's going on with my eye? I'm having to close one eye to see the chat because it's rolling so fast, and after reading it for a while, I can't read with this eye. I have to close it so I can see with this eye.
Oh, we got to get off here anyway. We got things.
Yeah, my eyes are bothering me big time.
Bothering us today. And first of all, I want to say a big thank you. Joey from JT West sent me a couple of plows to go on the back of my tractor, my Cub Farmall that is. And I want to tell Joey thank you from the bottom of my heart for that. And Keith, a very dear friend of ours from years ago up north, he actually took time and sent me a lot of Cub parts on a pallet.
We met Keith, what, 5 or 6 years ago?
5 or 6 years ago, yeah.
He is.
He was a truck driver. He had a brain problem, and
was it aneurysm?
And he's left him. It's left him somewhat disabled. He's still as sharp as a tack, but it's left him disabled in a lot of ways. And we got to know him real well, and he has sent us a bunch of Cub plow parts and the arms to go under the Cub and the arms to go on the back and all this kind of stuff. And guys, I'm gonna clean them all up, get them all painted, get them all stacked into my barn like I need to. So when I start using my Cub this summer, I'll have a lot of plows for it. And he layoff sweeps. He actually sent some of them with it.
Yeah, there's a lot of
A
stuff.
lot of stuff on that pallet, and I thank you, Keith, from the depths of my heart, my brother.
I see Doug was mentioning that Jack's game that we had here when he was here. He was saying something about the Jack King. He has these big hands that play Jack.
Oh yeah, Doug can play. He had the big old hands. Well, I wasn't in here though, because I don't know.
We had a live stream, and Danny was live streaming.
I was doing the live stream that night. I wasn't in there with y'all.
I do see he was mentioning the Jack's game, and y'all, that was a lot of fun that night.
Yeah.
We had
we have to pray. We want to pray
here
for the victims of the families that was shot in Tate County, Mississippi, yesterday or today, whenever it was. But they need prayers. We need to pray for all the people in Ohio up there that's had the planned chemical spill.
The people that were killed in Mississippi. Did you mention that?
Yeah.
Okay. Is that okay?
Up in Tate County. Yeah.
Tate County, yes.
Yeah, there's just
a lot going on.
Lots and lots going on. Can we see the Cub in February, please? When I bring it out of the barn, y'all will see it. I promise you.
Yeah, we just he wants. Are you gonna plant the corn with it?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to plant the corn with it if I can get everything set up.
Not in February, March.
But I've got to get my trailer fixed. My boards are rotting on the floor of my trailer before I can even haul it to the new property. So I got to get that fixed.
Yeah, one problem leads to another problem to get fixed to do something else around here.
Yeah.
But we are getting there.
We're getting there. Slowly but surely, we're getting there.
Got a lot going on.
Yeah. Okay. All right, guys, we're going to say our prayers.
We want to pray for BJ.
Oh, gosh, yes. I'm about to forget that.
Yeah, we want to mention BJ before we get...
We have a friend, BJ Hoskins, up in Nashville, Tennessee. He's a music guy. He's been here before and visited with us. He's actually sang in my house. We
met him at the
Appalachian
Homestead
Conference up there. BJ came down. If it hadn't been for BJ one time, BJ helped out a lot. He came and brought all the stuff to the house here. I got sick, and he had to help. At
one of our gatherings.
Our gatherings.
BJ helped me clean everything up, and he helped transport everything to the house. And he sat here that night and sang 2 or 3 songs. He
sang "My Home's in Alabama." Is that the one he sang? Yeah.
It was Alabama, but anyway, he done better than Alabama.
Tell you what, he actually put Randy. I mean, he made Randy ashamed of himself. That man can play the guitar and he can sing.
A beautiful soul, him and his wife.
Lisa and it has keeping us up to date with BJ, but BJ has stage 4 cancer. Mm-hmm. And his prognosis doesn't look well, but we're going to pray for him that God will intervene anyway.
Yeah.
And we have videos. Y'all can go back in my videos. Somewhere back there, you'll see me and BJ sitting on the porch talking.
Yeah.
We did a video together.
I can't remember what it was called, but anyway.
I don't know what it's called. I just know I did it.
Yeah.
But anyway, we want to keep him in our prayers, Mr. Ray's wife in our prayers, and lots of people.
The victims of the shootings.
Yeah.
And,
Guys, this shooting stuff's getting out of hand, and it's all planned for gun control. Please keep that in mind. They're trying to take the weapons away by these shootings. So a gun never shot anybody. It's the nut behind it that did.
Yeah.
Anyway, let us go ahead and pray before we can get everything taken care of. Father, we thank you tonight. We love you and we appreciate you. And Lord, it's been a really good chat tonight. We thank you for all the people in the chat. It's been a wonderful time fellowshipping with them, Lord. And I pray that tonight, maybe we was able to answer some of the questions. They go by so fast and our eyes are so tired that sometimes we don't get to see everything. We just try to grab one and read it off and try to answer it as best as we can. And Father, I pray that people were blessed by it tonight. And Lord, we just think about people like BJ tonight, Lord, who just all of a sudden just got ill and found out that his time is very short here upon this earth. And that, Lord, reminds us of just how frail life really is here and how much we need to really take time to prepare for our eternal destination, Lord, because it's more certain that we're going to leave this earth than it is that we're going to stay here upon this earth. And And Father, we love BJ and Lisa. We love both of them, Father. And I've missed my fellowship with my brother. But Lord, I know that one day he and I will fellowship again on the other side. And Father, I think about a lot of our other people here tonight, like we mentioned, Mr. Ray's wife with her lupus and stuff. Father, we continually pray for them, and we continually pray for the different ones that have cancer that's been here to visit with us before. And Lord, there's lots of people who have mentioned to us that they have different types of cancers, and lots have been healed. And Father, we want to praise you for the healing that many of them have mentioned. We want to thank you for the praise report that Ms. D got from her cancer, that it was all benign. And Lord, that there is actually no malignant cancer or anything there. We're thanking you for answering those prayers. And Lord, those that are still looking for homesteads, I'm praying that, Lord, you help them to get there before it's too late. We want to pray for the people in Ohio tonight, Father. People don't realize just how devastating this has become. And Lord, just like you told us that back in 2018 and 19 that your hand had been lifted off of this nation and that to get ready, destruction was coming. We've had pandemics and we've had catastrophes one right after another in this country, Lord. We're gradually dwindling down, Father. We're watching our country be demised right before our very eyes, and it saddens us to know that you are no longer protecting our country as you did. Now, we're not saying you don't protect your people, but as a whole, the nation has shook its fist in your face, and its cup of iniquity is full, and it must suffer the consequences now. So, Father, be with your people. Love them, appreciate them, Father. Help them to be prepared and spare them from any undue, timely grief or problems or anything like that that may come our way now. We love you, we appreciate you, and we love you. And we thank you for once again for just taking the time out of your time to be there for us when we need you. We ask this in thy name. Amen.
Amen.
All right.
And some people may have asked about my grandson Christopher. He had his biopsy done a couple of months ago. It was not cancerous, but they are going to remove the mass from his legs. And there's 2 masses. And I think they're doing that in March. I thought it was the end of February, but I think my daughter told me it was the end of March. So he's been playing basketball and enjoying himself. So Christopher seems to be doing okay.
All right. People, do I have a tip?
I knew that was coming.
I knew that was coming. I told Wanda, I said, they're going to ask me for a tip tonight. Well, guys, oh, man. How do I say this? Those of you who watch us on a regular basis know that I've told you in the past that you're going to be seeing things in the heavens and in the skies. It's going to make you question things. And then I told you how that we're going to have lots of distractions happening, and that not to pay attention, don't get caught up in all these distractions. So guys, when they say look up, look elsewhere. Because the truth is, all this stuff you've been seeing up in the air is to get your attention off of that.
Off of the other.
Off of the other and onto that, so that you actually miss what's really going on behind the scenes. Now, I'm not going to go into any kind of detail right here about what's going on behind the scenes, because it would be too numerous to mention.
But they distracted you for the past week and a half on balloons that turned into UFOs that turned into aliens now.
Well, let's put it this way. Midsummer, you can expect some things to be shared with you this summer that may shake your faith. Now, Wanda and I know what it is, but we're not at liberty to actually sit here and tell you what it is, because they will pull my channel. And I don't agree with that, but I will tell you that whatever you see, run it through the Lord first before you make or come to a conclusion about it, because what you see may not be what you think you see. Just like we used a $400,000 missile to shoot down a $12 balloon. I mean, how much wisdom is in that? Now, if that's not a distraction, you know.
Yes, like a certain pipe that has a big bursting apart.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, it's like that certain pipe that's underneath the water
That burst
all of a sudden, and then no one took responsibility for it until now. You know,
and then that all got wiped under the rug because there's a balloon in the sky.
Yeah, but it got pushed under the rug because there's an object floating around up in the air. And then all of a sudden, there's a big plume of smoke going up in the central part of the United States that they're trying to get your attention off of. Right at the same time, they're putting helium in these little objects that floats around in the air. So, guys, I'm telling you, don't be distracted. Yes, aliens are nothing more than fallen angels, guys. That's all they are.
You can't have ice cream without balloons.
So, please, when they say look up, look elsewhere. I mean, that's the best way I know how to put it. Don't be surprised by what you see, because what you see probably isn't real. Understand that. Please understand that. I said something about this way back yonder. I knew it was coming.
About illusions.
Yes.
And a lot of people are going to get caught up in it, and you're going to be stuck to a computer screen or a phone screen or a TV screen, and you're going to be watching for the next person to tell you what just happened, and you're going to keep on.
That is the one thing that makes me so angry with everything that's going on, is all of a sudden, and one thing's like the egg issue.
How many?
Oh my gosh! How many
do you need to watch about eggs?
How many YouTube videos do you need to see about eggs to know that they're expensive in the grocery store now?
And that you need to raise some of your own.
And that you need to get you some chickens. I mean, that's not
500 million eggs.
That's not rocket science, you know. But yet YouTubers will jump on it, one right after another, talking about eggs. And
the next one's going to be whatever the next recall is.
Let me tell you something about recalls. Recalls are not real, okay? Recalls, all they do is they take that food in. There's never any history done on that food to show you that it's been destroyed. They've taken that dadgum food and they put it underground for the people that's underground.
Exactly. EGG. Exactly.
Exactly.
Okay, we got to get off of here before Danny gets in a rant.
I'm going to get in a rant and get myself in trouble here. D. Orthro says, everything Mr. Danny has been shown has happened.
He's not a prophet. And
I'm not a prophet.
He doesn't see things.
Yeah.
He just is. I don't know how to explain it. Danny sees things from beginning to end.
I have a gift to be able to see. That's the reason I got to build all these big fine homes, and I can't even say that.
Well, Danny sees things like some people don't know how to take A and B and C and put it together and come up with an answer. Danny sees it in his head. He doesn't have to build a house to see the end result.
Right.
He can look at the plan and he can tell you what that house is going to look like on the outside. He sees it in his mind, where I have to see it built to know what it's going to look like. I can look at the floor plan and I can't tell you anything about it.
Well, Chris says, factories keep burning down every week. I have told everybody, you're going to see more fires this year. You've seen them last year. You're going to see even more this year. I mean, I don't know how else.
Danny connects the dots. I guess that says it all.
I have a God-given ability to be able to see something from the beginning to the end, and I see every pitfall in between, and I'm able to put the proper things in the proper places at the proper times. Not to say that I'm going to always be 100% right, but I know it's just a God-given ability. That's all I can say. I mean,
visualization, trajectory, lots of things like that.
Yeah.
And so he doesn't talk about it a lot. He mentions it on Porch Time some.
Yeah.
And people are asking what platform. On Patreon sometimes when he has a few minutes, he will do a video and say something, and I'll put it up. But right now on Patreon, we're mainly dealing with Pecan Grove and what we're doing over there. We're doing YouTube here is Deep South and what we're doing here. And we're just trying to keep it on an even keel to not get our channel pulled.
Yeah.
Because we have a lot of past videos that if they go back, it might, something you said in the past might get us pulled because they change the words daily.
Yeah.
So
anyway, I do get some inside information I can't talk about, but I try to give y'all hints. I try to tell you like ahead of time, like I told you, you're going to see certain things in the skies. You're going to see, I tried to tell, I can't just come right out.
One thing that you said the other day that we thought is, he mentioned a dream. Did you?
Yes.
I don't know if you mentioned it on YouTube or if it was on Patreon. I can't remember. But he had a dream of the people walking around with no tops on.
Oh yeah, I talked about that on Patreon. I talked about how that I had a dream about where women were going to be allowed to go topless in the United States. They were going to do away with the molestation laws and stuff like that. And then I read something to Wanda this past week talking exactly about in the next year or two, they're going to start relaxing a lot of these laws, giving
so that
people,
all this comes to pass.
So that people can have more freedom to express themselves and not have to, and our jails won't be so full of people that's not really guilty of any major crime or anything. I was actually reading that to her this past week.
And he said that goes along with what my dream was.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he does have weird dreams sometimes, too.
I do have some weird dreams. That's for sure.
All right.
We got to get off of here, guys. Just wanted to throw that out to you. When they say look up, look elsewhere. Because chances are you're being